Okay, so today we are here together for probably the most important day of Buddhists, the Visakha Puja, the full moon of May. So normally I think every Buddhist probably know how important this day is. It's a day about the Buddha, the birth of the Prince Siddhartha, the Enlightenment, when the prince become the Buddha under the Bodhi tree, and then the final pass away of the Buddha into the Nibbana. So this is the day that we consider the most important, because the Buddha is the one who first human being, almost like he the representative of the human being, that is the best of the human. So when we see this, that the human being can reach such a high position, even the Deva, the Brahma, come down to listen to his talk. So it's turn things around. Before the Buddha time, the Deva, the God, when they come down, the human have to bow down to them, have to ask for this and that, do some sacrifice to get what we need. So this is the thing before the Buddha get enlightened. But after the Buddha get enlightened, then the role is opposite. The Deva come down to listen to the Buddha, and not only the Buddha, the Arahant as well, or the one who perfect, enlightened, the one who follow the teaching. So it just change the relationship between human beings and gods. The Buddha become the teacher of humans and gods, humans and divine beings. So this is the very important moment in the history of humans. So we become the role model for the whole beings. I think many people want to be born as a Deva, and want to go to heaven. But in heaven they want to be born as human. Why? Because we have more chance of doing merit. Where can you find the field of merit in the heaven? You can't, right? Everybody have their own mansion. So you have to come down. Even the king of God, Indra, he have to disguise himself as a poor man to be able to put the food in the monk's bowl. So he really jealous of us. So we should be proud that we born as human beings. We are the Buddhists. We follow the teaching of the Buddha, and the Buddha is a great teacher, not only for humans but for all living beings, Deva and humans. Actually, he can teach the animal as well, but the animal can't get enlightened. So he just prepared the ground for causing condition for future rebirth. So these animals, when they die, they can reborn again, and they can, when they get the body of the humans and the Deva, they can become enlightened then. So actually he can teach everybody, but only the humans and the God can get enlightened. The animal is still have to wait. So that's why this is the day that we come together to venerate this occasion. Most of the people, especially Buddhists, I think we are focused more on the birth of the Buddha. We just come to many places, they prepare they call it flower ceremony, they decorate the flower, and they put the Buddha out for pouring the water, right? I think it's in the Mahayana temple, this is a big thing. People usually go and pour the water on the Buddha and then ask for things. I think that's a thing of Buddhists. Okay, I just pour the water and I want this and this and this and this. So that's why we like birth. And in Thailand, most of the time when we talk about Visakha, we think about enlightenment. Under the Bodhi tree, we are usually teaching like the Four Noble Truths and all those things, because that define the Buddha, right? Because the Buddha born and the Buddha die, but what the difference between him and us? Because he get enlightened in between, right? We just born and die, and we don't get enlightened. So that's why we keep coming back and going on and on and on. But the Buddha, the thing that make him the Buddha, because he get enlightened. That's why he exit from this samsara. He born, and then this is his last life. He's not coming back, because he's letting go of this samsara. So this is why normally in Thailand or other place, we focus on the enlightenment point of the Buddha. But today I would like to emphasize on the last one, which is the parinibbana, passing away. Most people don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about separation. They want to, okay, the Buddha is coming back. Even in the Mahayana, they think Buddha doesn't go anywhere. He's just in the heaven. He will always come down when we need him. So that's the concept of the Mahayana. But for Theravada, that's exactly why we venerate him, because he's gone. He gone from this samsara. It's like we are living in the prison, right? Samsara is a prison. We are trapped in this, always sickness and death. Okay, so what happened if someone able to free from the prison? We should be rejoice in them, right? Or in him, and then hopefully one day we will be able to break free as well. Why would we say, okay, please coming back to the prison together? Okay, so I think that's why I think the last one, the parinibbana, is the most important thing. The fact that he's gone, freeing from this samsara, that the witness that we too can follow him, not to ask, please coming back. This is usually the case. We wish in this, we want that, and then when he separates from us, we get unhappy and we cry for more. We grasping things, thinking that it's going to bring true happiness to us. But one after the other, it never fulfilled, because everything we have is impermanence, is all gone. Rather than learn about this, we not learn, we just go and get a new thing and new thing. That's why we're trapping in this samsara. But the Buddha realized this. Everything is uncertain, everything is not permanent. It can't bring you true happiness. In itself, it have a conflict, because things are coming together, things are compound, so it will go separate way. So you're not able to control it. That's why it's called anatta, non-self. So that's why when he leave this, what we call the five khanda, the five aggregate, so that's why he's the great Buddha. So for me, I think the parinibbana is the most important event, that he is gone, and I'm very happy for him, and hopefully one day I will follow him. Not have to come back, and if I can say this is my last life, that would be great, But most people doesn't think like that. So, but I think this is the very good time to think about this occasion of living. See, if under the Bodhi tree, he able to let go of the kilesa, or this defilement, the craving. But he still have dukkha, he still have this body and mind, which is the dukkha that he carry around. But then on the final day, parinibbana, he able to put down this burden, these five khanda. And then where is it? It's just nibbana. It's what left. It's a nibbana. So nibbana is something that is it's very subtle, it's deep. So it's only you need the eye of wisdom to see that. But the Buddha said it's free, it's available everywhere. But people doesn't know where it is. Keeps searching for five khandha, the form, the feelings, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. And they grab these five things and they identify as me and mine. Never know that these two are gonna be changing, and none of them is me or I or myself. So this is the crucial moment that the Buddha is able to understand this. And on this, what we call parinibbana, putting down this khandha, these five khandha. That's why we consider him the greatest teacher of all. And also because this is the special day as well. The Buddha passed away on the year of snake. You know that? Okay, so 12 years is come round, one round. So now it's 214 round of this. So if you time 214 times 12 is 2568, which is this year. Okay, so this year is 2568 Buddha era. So it's 2568 years after the Buddha passed away. It passed mid. We believe that Buddha dispensation will last 5,000 years. So it's already past midway. We are already on the second half. Okay, so and because it's only come once in 12 years on this occasion, so that's why I would like to encourage people to reflect upon this moment more, because usually Visakha we focus on birth and enlightenment. Rarely anybody talk about parinibbana. Some even think it's not for us. It's for the Buddha. Let him live, but I still enjoy the world things. So I think maybe once every 12 years, okay, just focus on the nibbana, on the final moment. So in Thailand, I make the book called Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Actually, it's all there in the Tipitaka. But how many of you read Tipitaka? Very, very few. So I say, okay, how about just take some of the sutta and then read it. And Mahaparinibbana Sutta is the longest sutta in all the Tipitaka. There are what we call 6 panavara. You have to stop. When you chant in Pali, it takes about, say, like 50 minutes to 1 hour, and you stop a break. So you have to take 6 breaks. So it's the longest of all the sutta. But it's the most beautiful of all the sutta because it has the whole story. Normally in the sutta you have very short story. Right? The Buddha go there and there teach this such and such, and then that person get enlightened. It's very short, right? But Mahaparinibbana Sutta is one of the sutta where they explain to you step by step what happened almost the last year of his life. So it's very beautiful. I think you can. I think it's already translated in English. There's many versions of it. These days you can easily search in the internet and maybe at least once in lifetime read it. We are Buddhists. We're supposed to know the Buddha story, but normally we learn it from the secondary source. Here and there, all the Chataka story. Why not learn from the primary source? Okay, this is handed down by Ananda. He the one who followed the Buddha closely. He in the old days they're not writing but they're reciting. So this is what Ananda thinks is important, to record everything at the last moment of his life. So this sutta starts from basically the king Ajatasattu, the king of the Makatha. This king, after he killed his father, he become very powerful. So he think of invade Vesali. Vesali is just the neighbor country. Vaisali is very well known for what we call the republic, or what we have close to democracy these days, but they don't have democracy, they have the republic, they have many kings. So what they have is called samaki, they have the thing that they bring them together. So actually, if you study the story of Vaisali, this is the country where during the Buddha time is almost on the brink of vanish because they have some pandemic, famine, all these things. So they have to invite the Buddha to chant the Paritta. So which we're going to chant tonight. If you stay until midnight, we do the Paritta, Ratana Sutta. This is the origin of every blessing that we give to you. Buddha is the one who do this. So the Buddha go there chanting this Ratana Sutta, the meaning of the quality of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, because the triple gem arises in the world, and the Buddha, in his own word, explain what is mean by Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Very beautiful sutta. So he chant that, and by the power of this truth, may all of this obstacle, this famine, everything's going away, and have Ananda carry this bowl full of water and sprinkle all over the city, and all this ghost, this spirit run away. And Vaisali come back to prosperity. They have to expand the wall 7 times, get bigger and bigger and bigger, so it become powerful. So you can see that Vaisali and Buddha almost like come together. But then King Ajahn want to invade this, so he want to know what the Buddha think about it. So he sent one of his ministers to ask the Buddha, what would happen if I invade the Vaisali? So the Buddha is very clever. So he, rather than telling what, he just turned to Ananda and asked Ananda, you remember when I went to Vaisali, I teach the Apahariya Dhamma, the Dhamma that can unite the people together, and there are 7 of them. These people still follow my instruction? And Ananda can remember also. So the Buddha recite these 7 things, like for example, coming together very harmoniously. They discuss what needs to be done. They stop. They finish together. They do things that they need to be done. They respect the elders, respect the weak, like the female, the young. They respect the stupa, or this monument in the country, and so they carry all of this Dhamma. And when the minister hear that, they say, "Oh, I can't invade this country unless I have to make them break." So even the Dhamma of the Buddha can take it in the wrong way. People want to destroy the country, they can use, because what the Buddha says is this is a cause and condition for prosperity, for uniting together. So if you have the intention to destroy the country, you just destroy one by one. So the Buddha basically say this sutta in order to protect the Vaisali from invasion from Ajahn. So after he said this, he also called all the monks and then recite the same thing. But now he changed this for the monk, because it's the same law that apply, for any harmonious in the country, also for the Sangha as well. How can we live together in such a way that not disharmonious and be able to unite and be prosper? So he teach the monk about this Aparahaniya Dhamma, the Dhamma that's not non-decline. If you follow this thing, it will be non-decline. Okay, so in contrast to many people say, the Buddha talk about anicca, everything is changing. So you have sometimes you can prosperous and then decline. No, you can be, if you maintain cause and condition, you can be prosperous and never end, but you have to keep on the cause and condition of that. So he basically teach that, and then his goal, actually he go by himself to spend the Vasa in Vesali to protect from the invasion from Achasatru. And he also repeated the same thing to Vesali again. And then after he spent the last Vasa, he coming out, he looked back at this. You know, the Buddha have the psychic power. He know what's going to happen. And he know that after this 3 years, not long, they will not listen to the Buddha teaching. And then they will destroy themselves by, basically what happened is, the minister, they make this guy that he was punished by the king, and he become the teacher of the prince in Vesali, and he keep teaching different things to different princes, and finally all the princes are breaking up. So after the Buddha passed away 3 years, King Ajatasattu don't have to invade. He just, because there are nobody left to defend the country, because they fight between each other. So the Buddha know that he have a psychic power, yeah, but he try his best. He do his job. He just say, okay, this is the causing condition for you to live together. So when he lived, he spent the Vasa there. Actually, he very sick. He very ill. And he compared himself, it's like the broken cart wheel, now have to be patched by the bamboo, very weak. But he able to recuperate and coming back. And then he looked back at Vesali the last time. He know that this is my last view of this city, because he will not coming back. He go for Parinibbana. And this city, in the next 3 years, it will be all gone, destroyed by King Ajatasattu. So I think the story, the Parinibbana Sutta start with this story. It's actually, the last words of the Buddha, Kaya Vaya Dhamma Sankhara, all the conditions are transient, are impermanent. Appamatena sampateta. You should strive on with diligence, not be heedless. But most people always think that the Buddha mentioned just my sankhara. Usually the word sankhara for many people just mean our body. But sankhara have a very broad meaning. Sankhara in this sense is the whole city. So if you heedless, even your town, your country, you can't keep it. You break. So you have to. I think it's the same thing to the world these days. Many wars between these tribes, because they not listen to the Buddha teaching. They're just fighting each other. Each one have their own story. This group versus that group. If they just listen to the Buddha, then can't we just live harmoniously? We gonna born sick, go all sick and die, right? Why we fight each other? We should be loving kindness, and we should strive on to be liberated from this suffering. So the Buddha turned around and actually his last watch of this Vesali. And then you can go this many very good story of this Buddha at the last moment. I think in Theravada we keep everything. I think in Mahayana they prefer to see the Buddha as a god. So they don't like the Buddha being ill, have dysentery, very dehydrated, asking for water and all those things. But in Theravada, the Buddha is just one human being. He very weak, probably a lot of diarrhea. He have to walk for a long time just to teach. Actually, he want to teach one person. The last moment. So up to the last point, he is still doing his work of teaching. So he teach Supata, the last disciple, and just walk this far, and then finally he enter Parinibbana, leave everything and all these things that we come to venerate him. There are some flower blooming down, all the deva, all these musical, heaven musical. And he also say, even this is so great, this grand, this flower, this decoration and thing, but it's not equal to practice. It's called patipatti puja. When you listen to his talk and then you take that to practice, that's even more merit. So he always emphasized on practice. And then Ananda have to ask him many questions about what to do with his body. And he would just say, let the lay people deal with it, and they know what to do. And then Ananda have to ask, okay, if they ask me, what can I say to them? Say, you can do to my body like to do with any other emperor, any wheel-turning monarch. They do certain thing with that. So Ananda had to learn the way and then explain to it. So the thing about it is that for the monk they should focus on the Dhamma, but the lay people will take care of this body. They probably want to have peace of this. So that's why eventually when the Buddha passed away, they divide the relic into different parts. And up to this day, we have these relics to be the witness. Because in the future, people will say, Buddha is just a story. So you have, you see the bone here. So he's once a human being walking on earth. He's not just a mythical person, he's a real person. So I think this is something you need to have to be the witness of the great man. So up to this day, we still have these relics of the Buddha. So we have this teach that go around. Actually, they have all representative of the teaching of the Buddha, because the Buddha used his teeth to teach. So all the word coming from that. So you have this upper teeth. The right one, the upper one is Tavatingsa, is in the Indra. The lower right is in Sri Lanka, right? Actually, this year is a special year because they open up this tooth relic for people to see for the first time. So many people go there just to see these tooth relics. And actually, we're interested because we have one of the dentists from Thailand going to join this, and I always wonder, can you take a look to see whether it's a real? Because dentists can tell you which teeth is that. Because in the scripture they say it's a right lower one that is kept in Sri Lanka. And then she said, yes, it's a right lower one. Oh yeah, very interesting. And then on the left upper is in China, in Beijing, right? So this year they also come and they bring it to Thailand as well, for celebration. And the lower left is in Nagaland. It's still hidden somewhere underneath. So this four is basically represent the teaching of the Buddha. See, the right one is called Takkina. Takkina means the right one. Takkina also means the south as well. If the sun rises in the east, your right side is south, right? Because you're facing east, and your left side is north. So the word Takkina can mean south or can mean right. It's the same word. So the right is represent of the Theravada, because we have the Abhidhamma in the Davatingsa, and we have Sri Lanka, who is the main, basically core of Theravada. And then the left is represent Mahayana. The right is what we call the conservative, the Abhidhamma, the Sariputta side, more intellectual. The left is more Mokkhalana, more what they call mythic, So they will have this Beijing, which is the center of Mahayana in China. And then the Naga is whatever the local tradition that people keep it. So the Buddhism need this, the whole different, what we call different sect, Nikaya. But for Buddhism, Nikaya, Buddhism is not divided because we're fighting each other. There's no fighting in the history of Buddhism. We divide it because there's so many things that we have to remember. Like in the Theravada, we have 5 Nikaya. Because there are so many books that we have to memorize. So they have to divide the job. Okay, you have good memory, you memorize the Tikha Nikaya, very long discourse. Like the Mahaparinibbana Sutta is one of the Tikha Nikaya, very long. So if you are the disciple of Ananda, then you belong to this. If you are disciple of Sariputta, then you Majjhima Nikaya, middle course. And if you are the disciple of Kassapa, Mahakassapa, then you remember Sangyutta Nikaya, which is what we call the group discourse. So in Buddhism, we divided to help each other because it's so many things to learn. So each one will divide it. It never divided because we're fighting. Everybody agreed that Buddha teach 4 noble truths, noble eightfold path, and no disagreement. Maybe in terms of the small minor thing of what to do, but in terms of the core principle, we have the same. So on this occasion, we come together to memorize. I just say the Parinibbana is very overlooked. I mean, most people not serious thinking about Parinibbana so much, but I think it's a very beautiful sutta that you can go and read. So it tells you the whole story of the Buddha up to the end, and also the 8th day after that, all these relics has been divided. So up to this day, so we have this physical thing that the Buddha used called the relics. Whatever left over of his body, and we have the Dhamma Vinaya that the Buddha leave for us, and the Dhamma that he teach and Vinaya that he set up. So that's why we have the Sangha, like you see now. We live pretty much closer to whatever the Buddha tell us to do. Keep all the rules. This is the stand of Theravada. Even the Buddha said, I allow you to abandon some minor rules when they pass away. But Ananda forget to ask him, what is minor rules mean? So then what is a minor rule? Because some monks said this is minor rule, some monks said this is minor rule. So the Theravada stand is that, okay, because we can't agree upon which is minor, why don't we keep everything? Why? Because otherwise in the future they will not know. If you start to take it apart, then in the future, how do you know which is the practice of the monks? So this is what Theravada believe. Even the Buddha say, okay, because he know that some rule have to adjust through time, because sometimes it's very difficult time. Maybe you have to relax rule a little bit about offering. They have to be offered to your hand. Maybe you can pick it by yourself, But when that famine gone, he come back to strict again. Okay, so there's certain time when the famine, then people have to relax certain rules. But when come back, he say, okay, go back to strict before. So that's why when the Buddha passed away, he allowed this thing to change. But on Theravada, we believe that if we not do this, then in the future there will be loss, because when you start to take here and there and add the new thing, take the old thing, then it's no longer know what the monk's supposed to do. So this is the Theravada position. So we keep all this rule and everything. So it's so we remain the field of merit for the many people. And of course, it needs a lot of help from the community to have this lifestyle. But I think it's one of the best, the education that the Buddha leave. This is designed by the Buddha himself. Everything, every rule, every minor rules. So we have all we need, and we believe that we don't need to add anything new. So we just keep whatever we have. So today, is the day that we in memory of the Buddha. We're so lucky that we have the Buddha, we have the Dhamma, which is very complete. In the Tipitaka, it's surprisingly very complete. And the fact that you have many Nikaya, some of the sutta the Buddha, I mean not the Buddha, the later, all the senior monk, they live it with different Nikaya. So they have lived different lineage. And nowadays we can compare them because we have all the information. It's surprisingly very similar. So this means that all these monks, they memorize it very correctly because you have different lineage, but it's the same. So we have very accurate Dhamma. I don't think you can have anything better than this. It's memorized by the Arahant, fully enlightened. So it's there. If you read, if you understand it, you get enlightened. The thing is, we don't understand it yet, right? And we have the whole Sangha who keep all the Vinaya that we can. So we have everything that we need. We have the 5 Khanda, we have the method, we have the Dhamma, we have the Vinaya. So we too can follow the Buddha. So I think the story of the Buddha is not just for him, it's for everybody. We are the Buddha, we have the Buddha nature. We are seeking for the deathless. We want the permanent happiness. So we too can understand this. So we come here, to venerate him. He's the first human being, but he's not alone. So many noble beings follow his teaching, able to get enlightened. So if we practice, we take it to heart without heedlessness, strive on with diligence, able to letting go of whatever is not us, not me, not mine. Put it down, not carry it with you. This is our thing, to understand why am I suffering? What am I attached to now? Whatever you attach to will bring you suffering. So we slowly letting go, and the Buddha is the one who can letting go of all those 5 Khanda. And what left is just Nibbana. So the Nibbana is the end of suffering. It exists. It's not extinguished. Nibbana is exists. The state where is no 5 Khanda, no suffering. There are such a thing as Nibbana. Otherwise the Buddha wouldn't teach us. But we trap in these 5 Khanda. Everything we do is come in terms of 5 Khanda. So we can't even dream of Nibbana, because it's opposite of everything we think it is. So on this occasion, I think it's very good to venerate that. And then, in the next 12 years, some of you might already gone. So who knows, 12 years is quite a long time. So we might not able to do that chanting again. So as we still have the chance to recollect and chant and remember that. And I think it can unite the Buddhists, because we have a very beautiful sutta. Why not tell the story about this and then learn about this? And Parinibbana is our goal. If you are Buddhist and you're heading for heaven, it's considered low. You have to head for Nibbana. You don't need heaven for Buddha. There are many people who go to heaven before him. Even the Deva have to come down to listen to the Buddha, right? So we should aim for the end of all suffering. This should be our direction. Okay, so I would like to leave the Dhamma reflection for you for tonight of Visakha Puja. I hope that you, at least when you say Dhamma, I take a refuge in the Dhamma. The Dhamma here is Nibbana. It's all the way to Nibbana. So I hope that you understand this and bring and follow the instruction of the Buddha. Strive on with diligence. Now whatever he say, take it and do the full practice of that. So then you will consider not remorse afterward that I've been born a human being, meet the Buddha, meet the teaching, meet the Sangha, but not follow the instruction. That will be very sad. So try to do everything you can, and then you will not remorse. I do everything. Every day I did my best. So that will be the way of Patipatti Puja, and offering that at the end of the day. May I offer this to the Buddha, to the Dhamma and the Sangha. So that will be great. The Buddha will be very happy to see you practicing, follow his instruction. Okay, so I would like to leave the Dhamma reflection for you for tonight. Okay, so should we do this Visakha Puja passage? Okay. Han Thamayan Puttasa Bhagavato Pupapa Kanamakaran Karoma Se. Now let us chant the preliminary passage of homage to the awakened one, the blessed one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed one, the worthy one, the rightly self-awakened one. Homage to the blessed one, the worthy one, the rightly self-awakened one. Homage to the blessed one, the worthy one, the rightly self-awakened one. Yamaha ko mayang bhagavantang saranang kata. Yono bhagava sattha yassaca mayang bhagavato dhammang rojema. The blessed one to whom we have gone for refuge, who is our teacher, and in whose Dhamma we delight. Ahosiko so bhagava machi me su chanapate su ariyake su manose su upano khatiyo chatiya kotamo kotena. Was born in the middle country, the Aryaka race, the noble warrior class, and the Gotama lineage. Sakaya Putto, Sakaya Kula Papashito, Sateva ke loke samarake sabrahmake. Sasamana brahmaniya pachaya satewa manusaya anuttarang samma sampodhim abhisamputto. A member of the Sakaya clan, he left his Sakayan family, went forth into the homeless life, and attained wise self-awakening, unsurpassed in the cosmos, with its Devas, Maras, and Brahmas, its generations with their contemplatives and priests, their ruler and common people. Nissang sayang koso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vichā carana sampanno sukhato lokavitu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sattha teva manussanam puttho bhagava. There is no doubt that the blessed one is worthy and rightly self-awakened, consummate in knowledge and contact, one who has gone the good way, a knower of the cosmos, and excels as a trainer for those who can be taught, the teacher for human and divine beings, awakened and blessed. Savakha to Ko-panate na Bhagavata Dhammo Santitthiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanayiko Paccattaṃ Vetitappo Vinyuhi, and that the Dhamma is well taught by the Blessed One, to be seen here and now, timeless, inviting all to come and see, leading in words to be realized by the wise for themselves. Supatipanno Ko-panassa Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅkho Uchupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅkho Nyāyapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅkho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅkho Yati thang cattari purisa yukhani attha purisa pukkara, and that the communities of the Blessed One's disciples, the four paths, the 8 types of noble ones, have practiced well, have practiced straightforwardly, have practiced methodically, have practiced masterfully. Ayang Ko-pana Patima Tang Bhagavantaṃ Uttisakata Patitha Pita Yavatevatassanena Tang Bhagavantaṃ Anussaritava Pasatha Sangvekha Patilabhaya. This image, dedicated to the Blessed One, has been fashioned and placed here so that in seeing it we will remember him and gain a sense of inspiration and urgency. Mayang ko etarahi imam Visakha punnami kalam Tassa bhagavato chati sampothi nippanakala samatang pattava imang thanang sampatta. Now on this full moon day of Visakha, recognized as the days of the Blessed One's birth, awakening, and total liberation, we have gathered together in this place. Ime tantati patupati sakkare kahetawa attano kayang sakkarupathanang karitawa. We take these offerings, candles, incense, and so forth, and make our bodies a vessel for them. Tassa bhagavato yatha pucce kune anussaranta imang patimakharam tikhatum pathakhinam karisama yatha kahitehi sakkarehi uchang kurumana. Reflecting on the Blessed One's virtues as they actually are, we will circumambulate this Buddha image shelter 3 times, paying homage to him with the offerings we hold. Sāthu no pante bhagava sucira pariniputtopi Yatapehi kunehi atita rammanataya panyaya mano. Although the Blessed One long ago attained total liberation, he is still discernible through our remembrance of his perceivable virtues. Ime amhehi kahite sakkare patikhanhatu อัมหากังทีคารตังหิตายาสุขายา May he accept the offerings we hold for the sake of our long-term welfare and happiness. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.